Hey, it's your favorite disgruntled dad on a awkwardly dark day. Not only is it very overcast here in South Texas, but man, the American justice system has fallen to that of a third world dictatorship. And how does this at all relate to being a parent? Well, have a family. Create a good family. Create a big family. Create a strong family. Raise strong kids. What else can you do at this point? You can't stop some appointed judge in New York from the freaking president of the United States controlling all of it. You can't stop that. There's nothing you can do. So I'm not saying to completely shut it off now because honestly, I'm a big fan of don't watch the news, the TV, because it is all terrible all the time. But at this point, it's a good idea to keep a beat on how things are developing because this is an empire crumbles slowly. What this does is erode so much faith in the system that there's a huge window open for a major dictatorship like China or Russia to come in and completely undermine the American system and trick people into throwing a violent revolution. This is very dangerous. This is why it's so important that people act on principles, not preference. And the Biden administration has not only crossed the Rubicon, but they have this is officially the launch of an attack. You can't. It's just not. It's honestly a former president could never go to jail, but they could have even gotten away with this if if they were actually able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that crimes were committed. But man, this is a kangaroo court if I've ever seen one. It wasn't televised for obvious reasons. They don't want people seeing the circus that's happening. So all we have is stories from inside the courtroom, news reports and whatnot, judge shouting at jurors and whatnot, and unprecedented actions. Anyway, what do you do as a parent? The world's falling apart. Not having kids is not the answer. We've got to be fruitful. We've got to continue our population growth. That being said, keep an eye on the door at all times. You've got to be a lot more mobile at this point. And so this is it for me. Is I'm not sure what kind of business I want to get into now. I'm not sure I want to get into rentals. I'm not sure I want to be in this real estate business. Not here anyway. Although at the end of the day, where do you go? There is still not a better option than the United States. Then again, when the entire justice system could pick you up or your kid up and toss you in jail, that takes some pause. All these civil liberties don't matter if they can just poof, disappear like a fart in the wind. It's only as good as the system that's there to support it. Anyway, back to solutions here. We don't want to focus on why everything's terrible all the time. But for me, I'm shifting gears a little bit more. Well, a lot more actually with my kids. I'm always pushing my kids to, one, have good ethics, have a strong constitution, be good moral, strong moral, and also learn. Every day, hey, what'd you learn? Go learn something. If it's a screw off day, cool, but learn something. You have to learn something every day. Well, we're going to be diving a lot more into learning lit now because I don't know where we're going now. The even moderate certainty I had that we'll probably keep it on the tracks. I don't like what we do at the national level, but I don't hate it. It's just I don't like it. No, now this is dangerous. This is incredibly dangerous. Hey kids, you're learning from now on because we might not have a country in a week, a year, 5 years. I don't know. Who knows what will happen? Anybody tells you they know what's going to happen, they're probably liars. And this is a great opportunity for the CIA to start, and FBI and DHS and whatnot to start pumping out operatives there to get all these people to say, oh, just need a revolution. You'll have all your boogaloo boys there egging you on. And if you're one of those people who says, yeah, let's do it. Let's get some guns and start killing people. Well, guess what? You'll have someone out there to tell you to do it, and then they'll shuffle you all into vans, and we'll have to have prison camps because there won't be enough prisons in this nation to hold everybody. It'll be like North Korea. So I implore you, please do not pursue violence. That is, unless you're a leftist communist destroying your local community and businesses, you're not getting away with it. Now, again, back to solutions here. Enough of what not to do. But raise smart kids. Raise resourceful kids. Get your kids learning. Get a hammer in their hand. Build a doghouse. Build a birdhouse. Get them programming a little bit. They don't have to be full-on programmers, but teach them basic skills. especially things that are free to learn, like code.org. You can go to Khan Academy and learn a bunch of stuff. You can go to Code Academy, and they have a bunch of free programs. There are a lot of opportunities out there for you to get free learning. Also, you don't have a computer? Get one super cheap. I'm actually going to Goodwill this afternoon, if the wife will let me. She's actually got really good in the budget. We did this Dave Ramsey course, and she finally now understands economics as far as it comes to the family anyway. I don't know if she understands macroeconomics, but that's okay. She's actually looking at the budget, looking at our spending on a daily, definitely weekly, if not daily basis. She says, hey, we spent this much money. This is how much is allotted. This is what we have for X, Y, and Z. Holy cow. Okay, baby. Whatever you want. Let's do it to it. Tell me I'm not allowed to spend it. I'll take it. It's better than us. I don't know where all the money's going. It's going to Amazon. And this is not just her. It is typical of ladies in general. Because women, they just think about things completely differently. Men are thinking about, here's the task at hand. Here's a thing. Here's a problem to solve. Women are thinking, ooh, that's not my spending. This is for the kids. The kids need this. Need is a relative term. You want the kids to have that. The kids want to have that. So that 2 plus 2 equals 5 for them. Anyway, super happy about that. But yeah, I'm going to go get a cheap computer. You can get one for $150. Just a desktop. If you need a monitor, use an old TV to start out with. You can get a laptop for $200-300, and they're working pretty good, especially if you flash Linux on them. Just go to Ubuntu, do a Google search for Ubuntu, check that out. That's how you can get started. Pick up a hammer at the Home Depot, pick up some nails, pick up some screws. Go to Harbor Freight to get your screw gun. Way cheaper, and if you're not a pro working every single day, you can absolutely skip the DeWalt and go to something half the price, like a Bauer. I've got DeWalt and Bauer for 2 different tool sets because basically, yeah, pick one tool set though. That's an important one because the battery, you don't want 18 different battery types. One different battery, maybe 2 if you need different tools. That's why I've got 2 different batteries because, like an electric chainsaw, because I don't use it very often. I got that in DeWalt because it's not available in Bauer. But Bauer has most same stuff as DeWalt, and it's half the price. Plus, I can get a battery for half the price. Batteries really get you. Anyway, teach your kids stuff. Teach them to be smart. Teach them to be resourceful. Hey, how else could you solve this problem? And, you know, I'm working on a strength building program with my 10-year-old because she is so difficult. My 12-year-old, easy. Whatever you want, she's got you. Even when she's getting in trouble, as soon as it's done, okay, understood, thank you. All right, you know what, I appreciate that. I don't need to yell at you too much because you got it. You accepted it. All right, yes, I screwed up. I feel bad about it, but we're going to move on. 10-year-old, just fighting you the whole time. Cutting her eyes, rolling her eyes, back talking. Okay, wall sits. Great, burpees. 5 more burpees. Oh, sorry, what was that? 5 more burpees. Wall sit. And she's, man, it was a good 10-15 minutes the other night, but you know what? You're going to learn to at least be respectful to other people. You don't like the program, that's okay, but you still got to go along with it to a certain degree. And we're going to make you stronger. And at the same time, she hates doing work. She hates doing manual labor, hates doing anything physical. So it's part of that process of I'm going to build you into this, whether you like it or not, because I need you to be stronger, better, and more strong-willed in a good quality moral sense. Now, beyond that, good times are over. It's done with. It's time to put the pressure on them. They've got to succeed. They've got to learn. Get off the public internet. This is another call to action. If you don't have kids yet, if you do have kids, wherever you are in this, you need to get off the public internet because freedom is gone. This is no longer the land of the free, home of the brave. This is slipping down a slippery slope here. So get off of Google. You need to get off of Android the best you can. I know that's a tough one there because a new phone isn't exactly cheap and the economy sucks. But I would say go to AbovePhone, AbovePhone.com, and you can check all the stuff out over at smartgrowth.live/tech. I've got a whole write-up on that. I'll actually put I'll type that note up right now so I don't forget. Learn more at where's my T? growth.live/tech. Now, why I say get a Start 9. It's a Embassy OS is the server. If you have an old computer laying around, you can install Embassy OS. It's free. It's open source software. Get it going. Tell people about it. That's their big their big thing. The company is trying to make a profit, but they're in a hardware business. So if you don't need the hardware, and you can get some pretty cheap on it. I think their base model is about $350. But yeah, you use discount code Smart Growth, you get 5% off. And get started though. And reason being, it's complicated. It can be complicated for folks to set up a server, especially if you want one that's usable by the whole family. So if you want Jellyfin to stream videos, if you want just a plain file server but with something that looks like Google Drive, that's kind of difficult. Well, with Start9, it does it all for you, because you probably don't know how to build out a web server. You don't know how to do light TTBD. You don't know how to do Nginx. You don't know how to do, choose your different web hosting engine, or web engines. But you've got to get off of the cloud, because all your data you'll be targeted. You will absolutely be targeted. I have no faith in the system anymore. It's done. Me putting this on YouTube, now I've got a bigger target on my back. What are you going to do, guys? You've got to at least pull as much as you can off of the public cloud. Start doing stuff internal to the home. Start building community. And this goes back to the number one thing, and this is what I'm going to wrap up with. The number one thing you can and need to do for yourself, for your family, for your community, is to build that community. Get out, meet your neighbors. You've got to start hanging out with people you live near. You've got to build those relationships. And you don't need to start gardening yet. We're getting there pretty quickly, but you need to build the friendships there. So if someone's starting to break into your house, your neighbor comes out armed, better back up, dog. We got him. Whenever your kids are home, neighbor comes on over. I got some cupcakes for the kids. Thank you. We appreciate that. Here's some steaks. Just building those relationships, like people you actually care about, because crap's going downhill very, very quickly. And the only chance you have is to have a really, really strong community. And that also goes to volunteering in that community. You need to get involved in your local church. You need to volunteer. You need to be raising everyone else's kids in a similar way. So help out with youth groups. Find out any way you possibly can help out, because, again, this is going downhill very sharply, very quickly. You're screwed if you don't have a village. You are screwed. So if you're living in the suburbs where everybody just sprints into their houses, or if you're living in one of these hellhole cities where nobody knows anybody and it's all a bunch of communists, they will happily come and steal everything you have, because they don't create anything. They just take. With that, folks, takeaways here. Build strong families. Build smart, resourceful kids. Get off the internet. Get a Start9 embassy server. Go on over to smartgrowth.live/tech. You can learn more, but you've got to get a Start9. Use the discount code SmartGrowth. Get 5% off. With that, folks, all I got for today. Please, please, please. You don't have to be a Trump supporter. I'm not a Trump. Well, I'm kind of a Trump supporter now. I wasn't a Trump supporter. The guy's kind of gross, but when you see the justice system just fall apart like this, boy, you've got that's a red flag. You've got to start making changes. And please, folks, stay peaceful. That's the only way we hold it together and have any semblance of reasonable life and safety for our kids and our families and our communities. With that, folks, check me out over at the Disgruntled Dad